Hello, this is Todd Luck, and I want to talk to you guys about a movie I stumbled upon on Amazon Prime that is an absolutely epic, dark, rock and roll vampire comedy called Suck. It's about this chick named Jennifer who's in a struggling rock band, and she becomes a vampire. And her vampire powers make her irresistible to audiences, and her band suddenly becomes this huge success. But there's a small problem that she keeps eating people and that all her bandmates want to be vampires too. And on top of that fantastic premise, it also features characters played by rock stars like Iggy Pop, Alice Cooper, Moby, and Henry Rollins. This movie came out in 2009, and for whatever reason, I don't think it was released on the big screen outside of Canada. And I don't know why that is, but I think a lot of people are probably like me, and this absolutely flew under the radar, so I just wanted to do a quick video letting you guys know about it. In my opinion, this has one of the most epic trailers ever done for a comedy, and it absolutely lives up to the trailer. It is uproariously funny. It has a great cast, well directed, cleverly written, and it's about vampires, it's about a band, it's about rock and roll and horror, but there's also relationship comedy and drama in there because the vampire chick's ex-boyfriend is the head of the band, so there's a kind of a friction there as well. And the rock stars in here are not here for cameos. They are here for fully fleshed out roles. Each of them gets to do something awesome, and each of them has a really, really great screen presence. And I just love this movie to death. It's just such fun to watch. And of course, the rock and roll music in here is absolutely epic. There is a soundtrack available on iTunes that has all of the original songs that were created for this movie, and it's the songs done by the fictional bands in the movie, and it's so much fun because as the movie progresses, they start singing about the vampire stuff, and it's just some great music. I almost killed you last night. And there's a lot of musical performances in the movie, along with scenes that essentially become music videos within the movie, and they're great. It's almost a musical. It kind of combines all these different genres: musical, comedy, horror, all this stuff together for a really fun experience. Now, obviously, this is very dark comedy. You have to be able to laugh at like blood and death and dismemberment. There's a scene where she's drinking blood out of someone's severed arm, but it's all done in a very funny way, but you have to be able to laugh at that stuff. But if you're watching a rock and roll comedy about vampires, chances are you're not going to have a problem with that. And while there's a lot of fun, quirky stuff about relationships and being in a band and all that, it's not necessarily the deepest movie about relationships or a deep character study or anything like that. There's going to be no point in this movie where you're going to like tear up and want to cry or anything like that. And I think that's okay. I think sometimes it's okay to just have a movie that's clever and it's funny and it's relatable and it's just fun. That being said, I do wish there had been more scenes to kind of flesh out some of the relationships and some of the ways that the characters get from point A to point B in their character journeys, because it is a very compressed movie that covers a lot of things that happen. And so sometimes, big events will happen off screen. But that being said, what's there absolutely works. It's just a premise I enjoyed so much that I absolutely wouldn't have minded if that movie had been an extra half an hour or an hour. I honestly would love to see this redone as a streaming series. I think you could just keep going forever with this premise. And of course, our reactions to things we watch are based on our own personal experiences. And I was married long ago, and my ex-wife was super into vampires. And while I was watching it, I just imagined what her reaction would have been while we were watching it, and all the things that we would have just lost it laughing about, and all the lines that we would keep repeating back to each other as an inside joke for the rest of our lives. It's just that type of movie. So if you have someone special in your life who's like that, watch this movie with them. I think you'll have a good time. But anyway, that is all of my thoughts on Suck. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. Like and subscribe for more videos, and until next time, beware of vampires who drink blood out of straws. See ya.